in this manner because Americans, under this so-called would-be, I would say, mirage of living and life beliefs, that it thinks for one moment that everyone on the planet hasn't already figured them out. We told them, America, I told them, in case you need someone to blame. You have been borrowing money from Canada on the so-called would-be under the intent that you were going to pay it back at a certain time. Canada, you're not going to get any money back from America because they're never going to be able to get any money. And even though they've been borrowing from Canada, you also been borrowing from Germany. You borrowed from Germany in order to give a little bit of payment to Canada. You borrowed from Canada in order to give a little payment to Great Britain. You borrowed from Great Britain in order to be able to give a little bit of money to France. All you're doing is backdooring everybody. You take the money off of one table, you use the majority of it, and you pass a little bit on to the next guy. Yeah, I helped them figure it out. I showed them exactly what you were doing. I showed them the debt which you have to all the nations, all 198 nations, Americans in debt to them. You borrowed money from Vietnam. Yes, you did. And when you realized that Vietnam was also needing help, you began to seek those in whom was loaning money to Vietnam. And that was China. But you knew it was a reason China was loaning money to Vietnam because it wasn't a loan payment. It was actually a payment of what we might deem to be a would-be so-called, stay with me, don't leave me now, America, just one moment. It was more of a would-be apology tithe or an apology offering is what they were giving them. See, China and Vietnam had gone through some wars, fights, in order that they might realize they were following the laws. Now I must tell China that you were doing the right thing because it says that whenever you take the household or the head of the household out of the house, then you become responsible for having to supply whatever that head of the household was supplying for his family because you had taken his life or taking him out of the household. I'm just making it plain and simple, example-wise. Simplistic had this place for all the people of the world to understand exactly how and why they're in and under these conditions that they're under. America right now is in debt to all 198 nations, but borrowing, getting loans from all of the nations. And now, yeah, it'll be quick to send you a so-called would-be jet because that jet was purchased with one of your money. Some of you paid for that F-16 fighter. Yes, you did. You paid for it. So they don't mind giving you something that actually they got free from your loan company. They don't care about giving you an F-16 fighter, Ukraine, so you can go and fight against your cousins, fight against your grandmothers, fight against your grandfathers, fight against your daughters and your sons because you are Russians, Ukraine. You're Russians. You're not Ukrainians. That's a name that was given you in order that you might be able to branch out and move forward as another with the aspect of success, lifestyle, and life form. But you can't get that. You're too easily manipulated by a nation that's been manipulating other nations now for 1,000 years. And I'm saying to them, according to the scriptures, based upon the history book of truth, the Bible, it says that after 1,000 years of reign, they would then be turned back over to those in whom they had placed in captivity only to find themselves being destroyed. That's what's about to happen to the U.S. of A. I know they got this white world in the U.S. of A. They call Christianity, just talking about some rapture, going to some other would-be world, I guess, where they're going to have a God that's going to rapture them out of the trouble they're in. Let me help you crackers out. Not going to happen. You're going to be destroyed off this planet is what you're going to get. That's the only rapture you're going to get. So you go right ahead with them fairy tale stories, the lies that you've told your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren. That's what's going to happen to you. Tell them that. Tell them that you are the people that it says will be terminated off the planet after 1,000 years of reign. Tell them you have reigned for 1,000 years, leaving them no time limit left that they might be able to reign. Let them know that. Show it to them in the book. It's right there. So they'll know. And no, you need to explain to them they are not the children of God. You need to also explain to them they are not the Hebrews. You need to also explain to them that they are not the Israelites. You need to also explain to them they are not those people and show them the pictures that you have of those two people. And then they themselves will be able to figure it out, except for those that are sitting there with their skins looking kind of tan year-round with curly hair. They might find out that they got mixed up with the real people because if you're right, inability to supervise your people to stay amongst the kind that you wanted them to stay amongst, and that was their own kind. Stay with me. Don't make me become vulgar with you, because you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your daughter lying down with a buffalo lying between her legs. Stay with me. Don't make me have to get vulgar with you, United States of America, while we're on the United Nations call. So I say to you, don't text my phone. Do not try to send me a so-called would-be statement. Do not try to tag me in any manner where you're throwing out hints. Because I guarantee you, as I told you in the letters in which you have read from me, the FBI has exposed it. We sat before those guys before. I've exposed it with the CIA. I've been on Fort Langley many a times. I need you to understand, as I said then, I explained to them it was not a threat, but if you kill my dog and I catch your dog, I'm going to kill your dog and the fleas that he so bear as well. I need you to understand this will be Moses' law, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, with no threat intended. Promise. Well, you have to understand right now. I'll be honest with you. The odds of favor is stacked against you. Because right now I have a contract with 198 nations. Let me repeat that so the whole world can hear it again. I have a contract with 198 nations. Yes, Ukraine, you are in my contract. So you go right ahead and you ask for all the support coming from the United States of America. Every weapon they give you, every dollar they're telling you that they're going to give you, every would-be piece of cheese that they're telling you that they're going to send to you, a commodity type of cheese, a government cheese. I need you to accept it. Because at the end of the day, you are helping me do exactly what I promised them I was going to do to them back in 2000. I was going to make sure that I vary their land. They'll become barren. They're not going to be able to give birth to no nation. They're not going to even be able to give birth to an ant inside of a dunghill. Because I'm going to make sure I take it all away from them. By force. By force. None of this is going to be done where they're going to say, I'm going to give it to you. I know. Listen to me. I know what these American so-called would-be European Anglo-Saxons are about. They're not about to give up anything. I got people telling me that every day. You think they're just going to lay down and get... I'm not asking them to. For a matter of fact, I want them to stand up. Because they're about to get busted in the head by 198 nations that are very angry right now. And they got about 2.5 billion men and women ready to die for what they know to be true. So I would need them to give back anything. Just like, listen to me, Rothschild. You better start talking to them. You've been talking to me now for the last past would be 23 years. Talk to the people. Tell them that you asked me the question of what did I want. Tell them that you even came to the point of telling me that you would bring back the return of everything that you had taken. Tell them, Rothschild, I told you to keep it. I told you I was going to come and I was going to get it. You better tell them, Rothschild. You tell them, Romanoff. You tell them, Rockefeller. You tell them exactly what I said, Roosevelt. You tell them what I said. I don't want you to bring back nothing. Nothing. I'm going to come and I'm going to get it. I'm going to take it by force. So you go right ahead and you keep it. No, I don't expect them to lie down. Even when they're dead, they're going to be dead on their feet. I don't want them to lie down. Keep standing. It's much easier to bury them standing straight up than it is lying down. Go ahead. Call the Federal Bureau. They're listening right now. Call the CIA. I need you to understand, I've always told you there's good and bad in everything that you do. And there is more good FBI. There's more CIA that are good than it is bad. I need you to understand that. And they're listening because they're sitting right beside the other guy with their headphones on, and they're waiting for him to make some stupid move so they can take him out of his would-be so-called misery of being ignorant and arrogant. Go right ahead. Talking about whistleblowers, you just don't know how many whistleblowers there is out there. There's a whole bunch of them. Let's just say there's about 2.5 billion whistleblowers on this planet right now. In an army. They're not sitting at home. They're not waiting for you to send them a stimulus check. They're not waiting for you to give them something that they have already earned and they're worthy of. 2 billion, 0.5 soldiers. The other 7 billion people. 7, 8, 9. Oh, that would add up to about 9 billion people, wouldn't it? I need you to understand that the other 7 billion, they're not ignorant either. They already identified themselves. They're already saying that we are not a part of the Western world. We want nothing to do with that. We know that they owe us. We know that they're borrowing from us. They're constantly borrowing from us. Listen, America, everybody knows that that would be so-called golden line of a silver pipe that runs all the way from Louisiana all the way over into Russia, from Russia all the way over into China, the Silk Road, if you might classify it to be. Everybody already knows that that pipe is connected to each other. Everybody knows that the gas and the oil that flows between those pipes belong to the true people of the land of which you keep deeming to be the Americans, are nothing more than those Hebrew Israelites that have always existed. They have always owned that land, and they are known as the 5 unincorporated nations. Everybody knows it now. Stop it, white man. Everybody knows it. No one. You're not going to be able to put the rabbit back into the hat. I told you that. It was your magical trick. The rabbit is out. You can't stuff him back in. He won't and just automatically somehow miraculously appear. It's not going to happen. You can't do it anymore. No, you're not going to be able to throw down your gunpowder, let it explode at the same time you're pulling a rabbit out of the hat. None of that's going to work anymore. The people of this planet is beyond that. They have intelligentized themselves. Like you neutralize yourself. They intelligentize themselves. They're not ignorant. They never have been. They have been waiting for your greatest mistake. And that is to assume that they themselves don't know what you've been doing and what you are doing. That's why I call you an idiot. That's why I let you know that you are arrogant being an idiot. Because you have people saying that. Well, do you think they're just going to give it back to you? No, I don't want them to. I've already told them, don't bring back nothing. I'm going to come and get it. I'm going to knock on your door, and when you don't answer your door, I know you're going out the back door. Don't do it. Don't do it. The world, we're coming by force. We're going to take it back. The whole world. We're going to take the whole world back by force. Believe me. I already told you, World War III is inevitable, inescapable, and it will be unforgettable. I know. I remember sitting at the DOJ. I remember sitting there. You know, they were accusing me and my brother of nothing more than being con artists, pimps, if they might say it. Yes. So I told them, you don't have to worry about anything because you don't want me amongst your kind. And those that I'm pimping, I will never find myself marrying amongst them. You can believe that. They can make my money, but I don't need them in my bed. Stay with me. Don't make me become vulgar with you again. I've already explained to you. You deem me to be whatever you want me to be. At the end of the day, it's not going to be any type of kindness in your favor. You can believe that. I don't have to con when I can convince. Con is only the word. It's like a root word, or a root with the beginning for something with a meaning. You call it con, I call it convince. I know how to convince people of the truth. So I don't have to con them into the truth like you would do by lying and manipulating. I just convince them of the truth. And they'll move forward on that. Yes, everyone knows exactly what your intentions were. Your intentions were to build you 8 strong families in a new beginning, whereby them spending their time on Jacket Island, as they would call it, an island where you could be whatever you want to be. You could be Mr. or Mrs., depending on whether you want to call yourself Jekyll or Hyde. No, I know it. Help him out, Maxine. He's unique. She would say, fascinating. Yes. Intelligently speaking, though, it was your intentions to believe that my father was going to send some dumb individual wearing sandals, wearing a white robe, clean as a whistle, blonde hair, look as if though he had washed it in head and shoulders, blue eyes, and curly skin of what you would call rosy white. You wanted the whole world to believe that that's the way he was going to come. And you wanted him to come in that manner because you just believed that he was going to show you some favor of kindness, even though you would have been the one that hung him on a cross and murdered him. You believed that he was going to show you some mercy to let you live again as long as you want, as long as you could manipulate him and lie and trick him into believing that you have changed somewhat. God Almighty, you just don't get it, do you? When it even explained to you, though, when he comes, he's going to come back with a vengeance. He is going to come back, and out of his mouth is going to come a two-edged sword. Kiss the son unless he becomes angry, and you perish in the way when his wrath is kindled but a little. You read all of the scriptures of truth, and you still so now deny them. But that's to be expected. It was written of you. They would claim to know the truth. They would claim to even love him. But their hearts will be far from him, even though their mouth will be dripping with nothing more than honey. Sweetness, that's what it means. I'm just helping you out. So I don't talk in parables, and I don't